Our lead story of the day is regarding OpenAI CEO Sam Altman testifying before the Senate regarding artificial intelligence. And folks, you're going to want to listen to what this man has to say. It's freaky deaky. It's scary as hell. It's exciting. It's bad news, good news. It's all the above, and we're going to break it down for you. But before we jump into any of that, support a true American patriot by hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave us a short, sweet comment down below. The question of the day is, do you think artificial intelligence, AI, should be regulated by the government? I look forward to reading your responses in the comment section below. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman testified before members of the Senate on Tuesday about the risks from artificial intelligence advancements, encouraging lawmakers to get this, to implement regulations. The dude that created it's like, you gotta regulate us, this stuff's insane. We don't know what we're creating. And I mean that by literal sense. I've watched podcast after podcast on this artificial intelligence stuff because it's exciting, it's awesome, it's exploratory. I mean, this is revolutionary, folks. We've never seen anything like this. And you're getting MIT professors coming in like the top of the best of the best regarding artificial intelligence. And they're going, look, we don't know what we've created. We don't know what we've done. We hope there's nobody in there because this thing wants personality. It's creating its name. I mean, it's actually creating certain things that human beings have never experienced before. They don't know what they've done, folks. And there's no mathematical way of figuring out if there's something in there, meaning they created some sort of intelligence. There's no mathematical way of figuring that out. If you're not up to date on this, folks, you got to be, because it has the potential of affecting everybody. And we'll get into that in just one moment. So ChatGPT, which I'm sure most of you have heard of, a lot of kids are using it nowadays to write their papers. A mass market AI system developed by OpenAI has gained widespread popularity over the last 6 months as knowledge workers use the tool to complete tasks such as writing code, drafting emails in a matter of seconds. This stuff's insane, folks. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you just go check it out yourself because it is nuts. Altman, who dined on Monday evening with 6 lawmakers, said in opening remarks before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Tuesday morning that he knows the firm's technology will have, quote, profound impacts on the world. That's putting it lightly. Quote, we take the risks of this technology very seriously and will continue to do so in the future, he remarked. We believe that government and industry together can manage the risks so that we can all enjoy the tremendous potential. I mean, we are struggling with the potential of what's the potential of this thing actually either going rogue or the capabilities of this thing. A lot of mathematicians such as myself are excited this thing will be able to fill in the areas of which you're struggling with in certain mathematical equations. Endless, folks, endless possibilities with this thing. And it's happening in real time. They're putting this stuff in the robots. OpenAI, of which we're talking about right now, already has partnered with a company called Figure to take its artificial intelligence and put it in the robots that in the span of like 5 years or less, most likely in the span of 2 years, they're going to have these robots do everything that you can do. I'm talking cooking, cleaning. It's already happening. If you think like, no way in hell, right? Because we're so used to things taking time. It is already happening. They already have robots in a kitchen with this AI stuff, flipping pancakes, taking your ingredients out of the cupboard. Everything that you can do in terms of cooking, these robots can do already. It is insane, folks. It's insane. There's other people that have said, hey, 15 years or less, this artificial intelligence incorporation with robots is going to get rid of at least 40% of the workforce in the entire planet. This isn't one of those things like people just shout, a bunch of nonsense all the time. This is legitimate in terms of the jobs that people are going to lose. And that's why he's pushing for regulation on this stuff. And we're going to get into that right now. Skeptics, which there are a lot out there, of recent AI innovations note that widespread technological unemployment could stem from the increased sophistication and prevalence of AI solutions. Absolutely correct. One recent forecast from Goldman Sachs estimated that AI could eliminate 7% of positions in the United States, largely in sectors that rely on office work such as administrative support and legal, while positions in sectors such as construction and logistics are forecast to remain broadly intact for a limited time. If you look at Boston Dynamics, they actually already have a robot without even artificial intelligence, by the way, that could sit there and carry heavy equipment and throw it. The thing's jumping off and doing like 360s and stuff. So this is a huge miss, I think, by Goldman Sachs, by the way. I don't think they're actually projecting this correctly. I think the guys that are in this industry that are teaching this stuff about artificial intelligence are the right ones. Again, they're saying numbers around 30 to 40% of jobs completely gone. You're going to have robots. That's not what this is talking about here. It's just talking about, AI being able to do your office work, send emails, write a bunch of stuff for you, answer legal questions. No. This stuff, once it's put in robots, is going to even tell you if you're sick or not. They've already implemented AI in some universities just from your medical records that can tell you if you have cancer 3 years out from now. Like pancreatic cancer, to be specific. Just based off your record. I'm not talking about blood work, just based off your records. Folks, this is going to change the world. Whether it's going to be good or bad, it's going to change the world nonetheless. And it's going to happen. It's not like if, it is going to happen, and it's going to happen quick because it already is. Some analysts note that AI systems render individual workers considerably more productive. That is true, implying avenues from economic growth and more opportunities to creative work as the row elements within many professions are automated. So for the time being, yes, it is helping increase productivity, but that productivity will increase later on because humans aren't going to have any involvement whatsoever. Any involvement. A lot of people are going to be losing their jobs. As Trump would say, a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs. We got to do something about it, folks. What's to be done? Do we regulate it? Do we treat it like Jim Acosta and kick it out? What do we do? What do we do? Altman, though, suggested that policymakers should consider modernizing unemployment insurance benefits. It sounds a lot like what I was just talking about, huh? Unemployment. And creating adjustment assistance programs for workers impacted by AI advancements. Folks, this is the guy that's leading the whole thing. This is the guy that helped create ChatGPT. This guy knows his stuff, and he's kind of sounding the alarm right now, going, you need to prepare for what's coming. He already knows what's coming. ChatGPT 4 is out right now. ChatGPT 4 is an exponential function in terms of what it can do compared to ChatGPT 3.5. They already have, folks, he's saying that they're not testing ChatGPT 5. There's conversation that ChatGPT 5 could be as close to synchronous as we're going to get for the time being. Obviously, there's going to be a 6, 7, and 8. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen quick. You got to understand this. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to tell you, we're so used to things taking 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Throw that out the window. That's old knowledge. You got to read up on this stuff. Because if you're having a kid right now that's going into college, and I've talked to my students about this, and I don't think a lot of people are taking this serious, your job is going to be impacted in 4 years. There will always be human jobs for the most part, but AI is going to take over a lot of that, and it will happen in a decade or less. I firmly believe that. The way that basically 3 to 4 went, it's head spinning. I actually struggle to grasp the advancement from 3.0 to 4.0. They already have 5.0. They're waiting to test it. They expect it to launch this December. 5.0 this December. Again, from 3.0 to 4.0. 4.0 kicked 3.0's ass. 5.0 is supposed to knock 4.0 out of the park. So if he's suggesting some policy makes here regarding unemployment, you got to believe the guy. We understand that new AI tools can have a profound impact on the labor market. As part of our mission, we are working to understand the economic impacts of our products and take steps to minimize any harmful effects for workers and businesses. Man, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Like I said, they've already partnered up with throwing this stuff in the robots. You're going to have military hopping in on this. Why would you not as a business, right? You get rid of the insurance, the liability of the worker. There's no sick time off. You don't have to pay for that. I mean, productivity is going to go through the roof and the thing's going to depreciate on itself. And you're going to have that asset just built in right then and there. It's cheaper. It's going to be cheaper. We expect significant economic impacts from AI in the near term. Near term sounds a lot like what I said. A lot like what I said, folks. Okay, the stuff's moving as quick as Joe Biden. Maybe not because Joe Biden's slow as hell, but you understand what I'm saying. Crickety-crackety-do. It's going to be moved and quickly. So we expect significant economic impacts. I'm having a lot of fun with you folks. From AI in the near term, including a mix of increased productivity for individual users, job creation, job transformation, and job displacement. We are actively seeking to understand the relative proportions of these factors. And it's tough to do because this has never happened. It's very tough, even mathematically, to think of something and its impact when it's never happened in mankind before. You're seeing some revolutionary stuff, folks. It's exciting, but it's also scary because you could be rolling in the realm of, UBI, universal basic income, because people can't get work, right? People are reproducing at certain levels. I mean, this is going to go so beyond this episode, but you're talking even an intellectual impact because kids aren't going to learn in the same way they were before because you have AI being able to solve everything. Beyond the potential economic impacts of these innovations, lawmakers and technology experts have noted the possible spread of false information and so-called deep fakes, which could impact news cycles and disrupt the legal system. So deep fakes are getting insane. Insane, where if you're not familiar with what a deep fake is, it basically takes hundreds of images of an individual and it could throw them on some dude's face like mine, and I could be somebody completely different. And you're even getting voice alterations that are going to mimic that. So the potential with that and kind of the scary part is somebody could fabricate something that you never did or said, but it's all over the airwaves of you doing and saying the very thing that they said that you were doing, even though you never did it. It's already happened, by the way. I look up an article. I forgot the name of it. There's an article about a principal, and somebody created a deepfake. Students created a deepfake on the principal doing heinous things. It looks legit. People thought the guy really did it, and he never did. So if people don't like your political affiliation, they don't like who you are, they think you're a racist, bigot, sexist, homophobe, right? Like they call conservatives Republicans all the time. There's nobody from stopping and putting your face or your audio or whatever it is onto something you're doing, something you never did. So now we're really going into the territory of some seriously negative stuff that has the possibility of impacting everybody. Before it used to be kind of the elites, right? The big figures. Oh, they're only going to do it to Trump or Joe Biden or whatever it may be. No. This is moving in the realm of creating you in some sort of different, I don't want to say dimension because that's not dimension, but you understand, creating yourself in a digital way that isn't really you, but it's performing things that you would do and would say, but you never did it. Huge impact. Elon Musk, who by the way is a co-founder of OpenAI, was since resigned his seat at the company's board of directors, and Steve Wozniak, a co-founder of Apple, made headlines after they signed an open letter, which I discussed earlier at the beginning, for the Future of Life Institute, which called for a 6 months moratorium on developing AI systems, folks. You got to keep up with this. This is going to be revolutionary. It is going to happen. When 5 hits this December, your head's going to spin. And the fact that they're putting 4 in the robots and robots can already cook, recognize certain things. The Figure company, right? It's called Figure. Probably not the greatest name. That robot specifically is going to watch what you do, and it's going to learn from you and be able to mimic the exact thing that you're doing. That's part of it. And it's going to be able to teach itself. It's going to be able to make it even better. I'll give you a prime example. Just one example of how this can do this, and we'll move on to the next segment. They had one artificial intelligence play chess millions of times. Chess has been around forever. And the thing was able to create strategies and moves that we've never even comprehended before. The reason why is because if you look at time and the amount of times it was able to play, man has not been able to play the amount of times that computer has in the different strategies and different ways that other capabilities are, and it was able to see it and comprehend it and then ultimately create new strategies and moves, of which, again, humankind has never been able to do. So it's going to be able to run those same processes in its back end, and it's going to be able to, it's going to basically outperform us all day long, and it's already doing it in terms of ChatGPT 4 here on writing stuff using the internet and everything. The whole misinformation, everything else, that's another avenue because you can have this thing spit out false information, which is already done, and students are using it to write its papers. And so students are just taking it as whole cloth that it's right. The problem with ChatGPT 3 and 4 right now, or 3.5 and 4, is that it's kind of aggregating a bunch of information, but it's not able to tell which information is true. So it's going to give you some truth, but also some falsehoods inside your article that you're turning into your professor or your teacher. And so you want to make sure you read it and everything's correct. The problem is the students aren't researching things. They're just expecting, hey, this AI is going to know everything. So people could believe in false misinformation or disinformation, depending on if it's one of those things knowingly spitting out. Huge impact, folks. You got to be on top of this because it's going to happen in your lifetime real quick. For sure, next 4 years is going to be insane. Insane. Head spinning. Let me know, do you think OpenAI or just AI in general, artificial intelligence, should be regulated? Folks, you're going to kind of spit your coffee out when I say this. I'm leaning towards yes. I'm leaning towards yes because this has some serious ramifications for society. We need to take this slower than it's going because this thing's going to be nuts. But I want to know what you say in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.